Silas Maths.
The best place to learn mathematics.
Hello friend, welcome back to class. I believe you had a great learning experience from our previous class. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as well, so that whenever I drop content like this, you'll be able to catch it up immediately. Alright, in our previous class, we talked about multiplication law of indices, division law of indices, and we went further to talk about the negative power law. And before I go straight to the next part of the negative power law, I want us to talk about this law, and that is power law. Power law. Let's say we have something like this. Now, let's consider this kind of problem. We have AB all to the power of what? X. We have two variables multiplying itself raised to power x. So how do I express this? To solve this, or to simplify this, I will take this power will multiply this, and this power will multiply what? The power of what? A. So let's assume, it's already assumed that A and B are having the power of 1. So that is going to give me what? A to the power of x, B to the power of what? X, right? A to the power of x and B to the power of x. For example, if I have a problem like this, let's say 2x all to the power of what? 2, for example, or all to the power of 3, that will give me this power will go to the power of what? B to the power of 2, and as well to the power of x, and I'm going to have 2 to the power of 3 and the x to the power of 3, and that will give me what's 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, that's 8. So that will give me 8x to the power of 3. So that is for this power law. Now that's what we call power to another power. All right, power to. Now that's what we call power to power law. Now let's assume we have something like this. We have A to the power of x. Then you close the bracket, you have another power here, y. So power to another power. So for me to simplify this one, what do? I just go straight forward, and then this power will multiply this power. It almost equivalent to this one over here. So we say x will multiply y. So I will have A to the power of what? X, y. So whenever I have something like this, I will go ahead and take the power and multiply the powers of what is inside the word bracket. Also, if I say I have something like this, let's say for example, I have let's say x to the power of 2, y to the power of 3, or to the power of 2. What would that be? How do I solve this? I go ahead and take this power, multiply the power of this one. This power will go ahead and multiply the power of this one. So I will have x to the power of 2 times 2. Then this power will multiply the one of y. Then we have y to the power of 3 times what? 2. And what would the final answer be? That would be x to the power of what? 4. Y to the power of what? 6. So this is power to another power. Okay. So this is what we need to consider. We're going to solve more problems on this. Okay. So before we go ahead to solve more problems on this, I want us to consider one other rule. Okay. One other rule. Oh, you know what? Before we go to that rule, let's take this example. All right, let's take a look at these examples. The question reads, simplify the following. Number 1, we have 3 raised to the power 2 all to the power of what? 5. So how do I solve that? So we go ahead and solve by saying 3 raised to the power 2 all to the power of 5. That is power to power law. So this power will multiply this power here. So I'm going to have 3 to the power of what? 2 times 5, right? So that will give me 3 raised to the power what? 10. So that is my final answer in the index form. Okay, let's say leave our answer in index form. That's the answer in index form this way. Okay, if you want to simplify further, that means multiplying what? 3 in 10 places. Okay, so that's one, number 1. Why number 2? To solve this, we'll go ahead and then simplify further. That is e raised to the power minus 2 f raised to the power 3 all to the power of what? 2. So remember power to power law. This power also will multiply this power, and then multiply the power of 2 as well, because 2 here is having a power of what? 1. So to solve that, we are going to have what? 2 to the power of 1 times what? 2. That is this power multiplying the power of 2 times 2 times the power of e, that is e to the power of negative 2 times 2, right? Then the last one is f raised to the power of 3, that is f to the power of 3 times 2. So if you solve further, you will see that this will give us what? 2 to the power of what? 2. Then e to the power of what? Negative 4. That is minus 2 times 2 will give us what? Negative 4. Then we have, for the last one there, I have f to the power of what? 6. That is 3 times 2 will give us 6. So my final answer would be this. That is in index form, or I could as well simplify further by applying what we call negative power law. Remember, whenever a number is raised to power a negative power, we can take the reciprocal of the number to the positive power of that particular to the positive power of the power, right? So this will be, either I leave my answer this way, or I could say that my final answer is what? 2 to the power of what? 2. Now mind you, 2 to the power of 2 will give me 4, right? Yes, that will give me 4. Then e to the power of negative 4 is something as what? 1 over, that's taking the reciprocal, 1 over e to the power of 4, right? Then f to the power of what? 6. So you said that I write this, or I could go further to say that this is something as what? 4f raised to the power 6, then over e raised to the power what? 4. That's my final answer for this one. Now quickly, let's go over to the last one for this one. Okay, let's go back to the last one. So for the last one over there, we have the problem, which is x to the power of negative 4 times x to the power of what? Negative 5. Now applying the law of multiplication, they have the same base, so we add their what? Powers. So in doing that, I'm going to have what? X to the power of what? Negative 4 plus negative 5, right? Yes, I'm putting brackets because this one is having what? A negative sign. So that's why we put a bracket to separate that. So to solve for that, we have x to the power of negative 4. Then to remove this, minus times plus will give me minus. So I'll have minus 5, right? So at the end of the day, we'll go ahead and simplify for that. Minus 4 minus 5 will give me what? Minus 9. So that's my answer. But to simplify it further, because this is having a negative power, right? So that will be what? X, that will be 1 over what? X to the power of what? 9. X to the power of 9. That's my final answer. So that is that for this. Okay, so if you have any question, do what to drop it at the comment section. Anything that is confusing you, all right? So we are going to be calling it a pause for this particular law. So in our next class, we'll consider the other law I was talking about, that is still on negative power law, but the one that has to do with fraction. So see you in our next class. Bye for now.